Greetings loyal subscribers and honoured guests. Welcome to my final pick of the month video for November, this time for PS Now. Before I get started, I just wanted to mention that next month I will be combining all of these pick of the month videos into one single video, as 4 separate ones is a lot of work. I will be listing all the games available from each service, but only showing the full trailer for each of my picks. Getting them out in a timely manner will be a challenge though, because Sony typically don't announce their new PS Now list until around the 10th of the month. Anyway, enough of that, let's start looking at the games. Although I still haven't finished it myself, my pick of the month has to go to Battle Chasers Night War. It's a turn-based RPG in the style of classic JRPGs of old, with fantastic comic book style graphics and some great characters. The gameplay is solid and the dungeons are fun to explore, it just gets a bit grindy later on, which I suppose goes with the territory. It's well worth a look despite that. While I quite enjoyed Mafia 3 when it was released, there are much better open world games nowadays, some of which have come out within the last few months. It's also a shame that this was part of PS Now after it was already given away as part of PS Plus a few months ago, so this will appeal mainly to brand new PS4 owners. I have never really been that interested in playing Steep myself, although it does look like a decent enough snowboarding game if that's your jam. I do have to admire Ubisoft's commitment to their games though. They keep releasing DLC and supporting their titles despite them having a lukewarm reception at launch. I picked up a copy of Vikings Wolves of Midgard on the cheap towards the end of last year. I had quite a lot of fun with it. It's another Diablo-esque action RPG and it's fairly well put together, although like most of these games that have not been put together by Blizzard, it doesn't manage to reach the lofty heights of Diablo 3. It's worth giving it a shot if you are a PS Now subscriber though. Costume Quest 2, much like its predecessor, is a game that I really wanted to like because I love the concept and Double Fine is a company that I want to support, but it just wasn't that fun to play unfortunately. The gameplay is quite tedious and the overall game design unremarkable. "100-Foot Robot Golf" is another off-the-wall experience from the same development team that made Roundabout. As you may have guessed from the title, it involves piloting huge robots and using them to play a round of golf. Throughout the rounds, you can bash the other robots in the chops or destroy buildings in the various stages. Another game that sounds more fun than it actually is. Torment: Tides of Numenera is the spiritual successor to Planescape Torment, one of the most highly regarded PC RPGs of all time. This new game was fairly well received when it was released, but it can't quite live up to the legacy of the game that inspired it. It's also a bit clunky when played on a console. You would be better off enjoying this one on a computer if you have access to one. The Dwarves is another game I picked up a while back on the cheap, but this time I haven't really spent a lot of time with it. It's a highly challenging tactical RPG that requires both skill and patience to make much progress, hence why I haven't really given it a go yet. I think the response to it was fairly positive, although it got lost amongst all the other stuff that came out last year. Baja Edge of Control HD was originally a PS3 and Xbox 360 game that was decent enough, I suppose, but not the greatest racer out there. This port improves the graphics a bit, although they are still not on par with other games that were actually developed with the PS4 in mind from the start. It's a fairly generic arcade racer by all accounts, but if this is your sort of thing, then you may as well check it out. Finally, Destroy All Humans is a remastered version of the popular open world game from the PS2 era, where you take control of an angry alien that goes on a rampage, probing anuses and removing brain stems. It's quite a lot of fun, at least for a while. If this somehow passed you by back in the day, I would say it's worth giving it a go. So there you have it, quite a long list of titles, most of them pretty decent I would say. With Pick of the Month done until December, I can now return to other types of video next week. See you then, and in the meantime, take care.